Good evening. My name is Matthew Ogden, and I would like to welcome all of you to our webcast for November 22nd, 2013. This date is a very solemn date, especially this year when we mark the 50th anniversary of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. As people who are viewing this webcast may know, also on this evening, the Schiller Institute is presenting a concert of Mozart's Requiem, dedicated to the memory of President John F. Kennedy. Now, tonight, I'm joined by Mr. Lyndon LaRouche as part of our regular Friday series of webcasts on LaRouchePack.com, and by Dennis Mason, who will be joining me to present a series of questions. I want to begin tonight's proceedings by reading a statement which Mr. LaRouche made on Wednesday of this week. This was issued as an emergency statement from Lyndon LaRouche. It reads as follows. Given the fact that we are on the verge of the complete breakdown of the economy, we cannot tolerate a chaotic situation under this president. Therefore, there must be an impeachment now. There are plenty of grounds to do so. The paramount reason is that the United States must be saved. There must be a moratorium on foreclosures. There must be a review of the outstanding claims of Wall Street circles. But the key to survival is to get Obama out of office before the collapse occurs. There is every grounds to do so. His administration has been a systematic failure, so that his competence must be challenged. In fact, he is a completely unstable person that can't continue to function. He has to be kicked out because he is doomed in any case. The key thing is that we cannot have the collapse occur with such a president in charge. Now, Lynn, we have a question which has come in from an institutional contact based out of Washington, D.C., and I'm going to read that question as it was written. It reads as follows. Mr. LaRouche, President Obama is now perceived as a weak president, even a lame duck, very early in his second term. This is not only the view of the American people and of the Republican opposition. Increasingly, this is the view of leaders from around the world, particularly in the Middle East. How do you see your chances of passing Glass-Steagall under these changing circumstances? Clearly, there is a renewed momentum in support of the passage of Glass-Steagall, and there are growing fears of another major financial crisis, perhaps at this year's end. The question is whether the weakening of President Obama reduces his ability to block the passage of Glass-Steagall, and whether, in your view, he might ultimately realize that passage of Glass-Steagall with his support may be the only way to redeem his presidency and salvage his personal legacy, which means the world to him. Your comments.
Well, there's no way that Obama can remain in office and be president. Actually, it's not possible. He has no capability of actually making a decision which would assist the United States in dealing with this problem. He just can't do it. Now, the danger is that the crisis comes before he's out of office. If the crisis hits, and the crisis is about to hit, I mean, the whole month of the end of the month of November, but certainly the early part of December is a time when this is to be expected. If he were to leave office only after the crisis point had been hit, this would result in a disaster. So therefore, it's important that he be removed from office or remove himself from office, perhaps by the aid of his vice president, who probably is standing by and perhaps capable of dealing with this problem. I would suggest that that is the proper solution for this situation. He must be thrown out of office. There's no way that the nation can survive with him in office because we are on the verge of a general breakdown. It could happen almost any time. It's almost an act of will, not a matter of consequences. It's just when somebody is willing to do that, and the time for that is now. So the important thing is that he be removed from office before this action is taken. And that would give us a means of actually having an orderly proceeding. That's the most crucial thing. That's the fact of the matter, the essential fact. And we're talking about now completing November and going early into December. My estimate is it cannot be sustained into January. There are too many things that come with dates at that time which just cannot be handled under these circumstances. And therefore we have to have a reorganization of our government, started with the process of getting him out of office, and take a number of steps toward reorganizing our government. It's going to have to be a real reorganization. It can be done, however, and we will find ourselves with possibility of agreement with other nations at this time to make this thing stick. But we have to have a very cold-blooded, in a sense, and very calm resolution. He must simply be thrown out of office or leave willingly. In either case, when he's thrown out of office or willingly leaves, we have to at that point be prepared. Prepare ourselves now for the initial decisions that have to be made to prevent a breakdown, which is now oncoming, to prevent the breakdown from becoming a chaotic process. We cannot have a situation in Europe and elsewhere when the United States might go into a breakdown crisis. We're on the edge of it already. Therefore, if we do this now and get this matter cleaned up now, then we will have the options of taking gradual steps to bring things under control. And this idea of bringing things under control is the crucial issue. He's now an impediment. You can't do it with him in office. And if you wait until he's thrown out, the nation will be in no condition to deal with the situation that's resulting. So he has to be out by voluntarily. Perhaps the vice president would help and assist in getting him out. That would be a useful approach. I think I trust the vice president to be able to handle that situation.